Welcome to DBL. Hello, hello, Jeray.
Shout out Jeray. You know what? Usually he's like a ghost. You don't see him. Today he got caught, buddy.
Oh, he got caught.
Jeray, not Bert.
Yeah, not Bert. Oh, but Bert does want you to hear him. Bert Dugrow, everybody. Bert Dugrow, everybody. Oh, he said do the show. Shoot, that's the boss. All right, welcome to DBL. We're going to start today talking about the Bidens. Yesterday, House Republicans voted to formalize the impeachment inquiry into President Biden. But after a year of investigation, the GOP-led effort has not found any evidence against him. Meantime, the president's son, Hunter Biden, was supposed to sit for a private deposition yesterday by House Republicans, but he defied the subpoena and instead held a press conference. Take a look.
For 6 years, I have been the target of the unrelenting Trump attack machine, shouting, "Where's Hunter?" Well, here's my answer. I am here. Let me state as clearly as I can. My father was not financially involved in my business, not as a practicing lawyer, not as a board member of Burisma, not in my partnership with a Chinese private businessman, not in my investments at home nor abroad.
All right, so what do you all think of this? And DBL Nation, always want to hear from you. Do you support the impeachment inquiry into President Biden? Yes or no? Go to dblvote.com and please share your opinion. Before we have a discussion, Tori, what are these allegations?
So, again, allegations, no evidence. They're saying Joe Biden, the president, had joined some phone calls and meetings about Hunter's business. He purportedly received a $5 million bribe in exchange.
Was that purportedly?
It was purportedly, yeah, for pressing for the firing of Ukrainian prosecutor who is investigating Burisma, a gas firm. And also, banks have flagged over 150 transactions from the Bidens as suspicious activity. So I want to be on record as saying I think that Hunter Biden overstepped 1,000%. And I think he should be looked at correctly, as much as they need to, as thoroughly as they need to. Do I think this could lead to an impeachment of the president without any evidence? That's an enormous leap to make. I don't see the steps that they have put in the work. I haven't. And I know they're going on vacation for the next 3 weeks. So if they really had an inquiry, it would be a much bigger deal. This is tainting the news cycle.
Isn't it impossible, given that you would need 2/3 of the majority of the Senate and the Democrats run the Senate?
Yes, so this is all a play. It's absolutely impossible.
Or is it precedents like we've talked about before?
I don't know.
Precedents on what?
Well, we talked about precedents with when we talked about the impeachment inquiry into Trump. And yes, there is evidence there. There is not evidence here. But we did say at the end of the day, when we have people in power, we want to hold them accountable. Mm-hmm. So is it as simple as this is just the Republicans looking for a diversion and looking to smear his name, knowing that they will not be able to get an impeachment inquiry? Or is this trying to set a precedent that we hold the people in power accountable?
I think it sets a precedent, but I think the precedent is it doesn't matter if there's actual evidence, we're going to find it against you. So from here on out, anyone who holds this office will be susceptible to this type of treatment. And as Jeff says so eloquently all the time, if you look hard enough, you're going to find something.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's kind of where we're at.
Well,
if
that's
you look
a dangerous
hard enough,
precedent, to your point.
Right. I mean, that's not how our judicial system works, but clearly this is about a more politicized version. It's more about making sure that we're holding people accountable just because they're in a position to be held accountable, even if we don't know what we're holding them accountable for.
It's pre-crime.
Right. Well,
I mean, that's going against people before they do the crime. That's
I think crime has something to do with the judicial system. And even though they're using the judicial system, I think this is more of a social battle. They have a guy in Donald Trump that's got 4 cases that are all going to come up. They're all going to look really bad, especially over the holidays. Different stories are going to be breaking. They can't allow MSNBC and the left to have the total narrative. They need to have something to fight back with, something to smear your guy with. And what this is what's up with you and your son? Why didn't you show up for the subpoena? I'm sure most lawyers would tell you not to show up for a subpoena that's held by people that hate you.
in private.
But in private,
right.
Because you know it's going to leak. It may leak out of context. You have to control your narrative. But this now gives them a chance for their side to have something to say back when they say, what's up with your president and his 91 indictments? You'll say, at least mine's not being impeached right now. That's all you need. The end game, the results, no one's going to jail. If there was money involved, you can follow money in an afternoon. You could figure that out. Chase could do that. Why haven't they done that? Because there is no real crime. There's just suspicion of something that looked untoward, and that's all you need.
What do you think, Jeff?
I agree with Tori. I think there's something there. Definitely Hunter Biden used his dad as leverage. How much was Joe Biden involved in that? I don't know. That's what the inquiry is about. But I definitely believe he used that, just like everybody in D.C. uses that leverage. Hey,
or Hollywood.
Or Hollywood.
Right.
But especially
Right.
in D.C., I'm going to give you money for this campaign, but when you get in office, you better abide by these things, otherwise I'm going to stop funding you. It's the same. My dad's a president. I'm sure he could help you out in some way. That's how he's doing business. So there's something there. I don't know if Joe Biden's going to get impeached over it, but I was laughing kind of at, while we were watching that, because I'm like, that could be an SNL skit. I'm laughing because these serious charges now are becoming a mockery. Trump has 91 charges against him. It's like when they just keep dumping it on, at some point you're just like, I don't know what's going on. He got another charge, and now Hunter Biden's up. It's just one side throwing mud at the other.
Impeaching the president was a big deal, Jeff?
It was a big deal.
I didn't even know that we were going to cover this.
I know.
I told my girl last night, I was like, oh, we're probably going to cover the impeachment tomorrow.
Again,
we would have talked about that for
inquiry.
4 weeks
Impeachment
earlier in the
inquiry.
show.
Right, but we talk like people still bring up Nixon and how big that whole thing was with Watergate. Now, what do you put your finger on when you talk about Trump? There's a million different things. Now it's just throwing mud at one side. Me as an American, I'm tired of it. On both sides, I'm tired of it. We need to get back to hard laws, holding people accountable. If there's nothing there, move on.
Right. No, I'm well said. I know, it's just an embarrassment. It really is. Okay, so we're going to talk about something funny now, or maybe something that you want to celebrate. But first, let me reveal the poll results. Okay, do you support the impeachment inquiry? 61% of you say no, 39% of you say yes. Interesting.
That's all you need.
Okay, I want to show you guys this from First Lady Jill Biden. She posted a video yesterday of a New York tap dancing troupe performing a, quote, playful interpretation of the Nutcracker Suite. But it's getting a lot of criticism online. Let's see what you think. Take a look. Okay. Erica, what do you think?
Oh, real quick, we got some comments here. Someone wrote in.
Facts about that?
It looks like the White House switched. This is comments. Looks like the White House switched from cocaine to acid. And what's with the Hunger Games aesthetic?
Hunger Games aesthetic?
Yeah, it is very Hunger Games.
I guess that purple flower is.
No, the town, the town leaders, they all are over.
The purple flower.
Erica,
This is
what'd you
something
think?
you look back on 10 years and you're like, oh my God, how crazy are we? That's insane.
I think it's incredible.
I don't feel that way at all.
Thank you.
I mean, I just went to the Nutcracker last year. I'll go to the Nutcracker this year.
Yeah.
I love that the Nutcracker has evolved in some ways since when I used to go every year as a child. And this is art. Like, it's subjective. And so if people don't like it, they don't like it. They're probably not the people who would go to see the Nutcracker anyway.
Right.
But that's the point. It's art. Half the people hate it, half the people like it. That's
You know what I love the most? The White House is bringing art to. I love that they're bringing art back to the White House. That's a huge.
It's not
part of it.
crazy enough without that video.
I thought it was avant-garde and fantastic.